Okay, so well, I know that the venue is very special to you. So it'd just be good to find out, what it exactly is you're looking forward to at Digital Pharma Europe this year for 2014.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. We're looking forward. We had, I think, it was very, very good. The one we attended last year. That was in Paris. All right. Which was actually very good because I think it was more intimate. It was the people on board were more engaged. So there was a lot of interaction. I thought it was very good. There was a very good dialogue. So it wasn't just delivering a message, you can say. It was actually, as a speaker, I got a lot to take home as well.
Yeah. Last year's engagement with the audience was great, and obviously we're looking to build on that again this year. Are you seeing any key challenges you're experiencing with pharma at the moment that you think will be a big conversation again?
Yeah, but that's hard to say. What's that going to be? I mean, I think the overall challenge that is becoming clearer and clearer, you can say, is really to get the attention and to get the time, you can say, and the attention from the healthcare professionals. And I'm not just talking sales reps. I'm talking in all channels. I think that that it's kind of clear that we've got a lack of relevance, meaning that the value for the healthcare professionals, they don't see the value, they don't see high enough value to engage with the industry as it is now, which I think got a lot to do with relevance. That you can say that I think what the industry has done is, most of them, is that they have kind of, we've all digitalized, but that's kind of been moving from paper to glass, if you follow me. We're just taking everything we did before, and then we've digitalized it. So we kind of automate it, and I think that's coming to an end. The benefit of that, of course, there's a lot of benefit of that in savings, distribution cost and so forth, print cost and so forth. But it doesn't really give any benefit to the customer. That now it's cheaper for us to spam them over the internet instead of by paper. It's cheaper for us, but it's not any better for the customer. And I think where we're hitting now, and I think where it's moving, and where the big discussion is, like, we've hit this ceiling of automation, and now we have to figure out to say, okay, how do we move from automating to empowerment? So actually to have everybody who's customer facing, including the customer, I was about to say, and also the customer towards the patient, how do we actually empower them to get much more valuable information, knowledge that is relevant for them.
Okay, that's great. So that's obviously one of the digital trends that we're going to continue to see. Last year there was a lot of talk about multi-channel marketing, and that continued throughout since the conference and other conferences we've been to, and pool communication as well. Do you think you'll be exploring this in a deeper manner at the conference this year?
Yeah, no, we will absolutely. I think again that's kind of so far, and that approach that we've also been talking about two things. We've been talking about going digital, and we've been talking about doing multi-channel. Both of those two things are, in my view, are just means. They're just that's not an aim. It's not an aim to go digital. The reason why we want to go digital is to use big data, is to have much more content that we can adjust and deliver much more adapted to the individual. So going digital is about going individual, in my view. Multi-channel, again, what we've done so far is just taking everything we had already in other channels and then kind of put them into multi-channel, you can say. But multi-channel is, again, not about channels. It's about delivering the individual information, but in the right context. And that's why it's got to be multi-channel. So if it's a doctor, if we want to help a doctor doing better dosing, but a dosing act, whatever, then there's a difference whether he's doing that at the bed end with the patient, or he's sitting in an office in a pharmacy. So again, it's about making it relevant, valuable. So digital is about individual, multi-channel is about context, in my view. So definitely we're going to talk a lot about multi-channel, but not just about saying, oh, let's have some more channels, because that's really not the interesting part. The interesting part is to deliver it spot on, right in the place where they need it, in the context where they are.
Okay. In a recent article with Pharma Forum, you spoke about the change that pharma's facing. I'd be interested to hear your perspective on what you think is changing and how that's affecting pharma marketing.
That's a very big topic. I think a lot of things is changing in the industry. I think obviously, I think this whole trend that we're moving from selling pills to be measured on the treatment outcome. I think that's a very, very big thing. Meaning that it's for me, it's clear that in the future, the industry is going to get paid when we see the outcome of the treatment. That means that the industry can't just focus on delivering compounds and products. They have to be involved in screening, diagnosing, initiating, titrating, switching, compliance, everything, because if you won't be in stronger than the weakest link. So I think that's one thing. That's again driving towards this individualism, that we have to be able to actually not reach not only every doctor, but actually basically every patient. So I think that's one thing. Another big thing I think is that is this what I call co-creation, that the responsibility of the right treatment is where it's in the old days it maybe was 90% the doctor and then 10% everybody else. That is being divided on much more people. First of all, the patient's going to have much more control of their own disease and their own treatment. And that means that this is going to be a discussion with the different stakeholders. So when I just had a few months ago, my youngest daughter was hospitalized. She's fine now, but when she was hospitalized, I mean, I read everything there was to read about it. I'm not a medical guy, but I was reading everything there was to read about it, and discussing with the people who do the treatment and saying, why are you choosing that? But be aware of that she also blah blah blah. Just saying that we're getting more educated. We get the information close at hand whenever we are, no matter where we are. We just go on Wikipedia and read about it. I'm less authoritative and so forth. So I think the industry is going to have to open much more up and say, well, the industry is one player in this, but it's going to be the doctor, they're going to be the patient, they're going to be the relative, they're going to be the pharmacist, they're going to be the one who does the reimbursement, and that we're going to have to figure out how to handle that and how to accept that this is not just about delivering a drug. It's actually, again, it's outcome driven. We have to involve, to get the treatment, the ideal outcome of the treatment. There'll be so many more stakeholders.
Okay. Yep. Well, you've given us a lot of great insights in some short time there. I think maybe as a final wrap-up point, if there was one thing you'd like the attendees to kind of take away from the conference as they leave, is there anything in your mind that you'd like to see people take away from this meeting?
Yeah, I mean, what we strongly believe in, and I think I have the feeling that all the people, all the companies that kind of changed from paper to glass, that went digital 2-3 years ago, that they're all hitting towards this ceiling, saying, well, now we've optimized, now we've automated, now we've reduced all the costs, and where we ended up is kind of the marketeers as a janitor, if you follow me, right? Just a campaign optimization janitor. And I really think that what is needed now is to go in a completely different way, say that we're going to use the digitalization, we're going to use the technology, not to enforce and push harder and control whether or not what we're pushing, but really moving it around. So it will be much more a bottom-up approach. It will be much more an empowerment rather than an automation. That's not a very elegant way I put it here. I know that, but I'm working on it. But I do think there's going to be a major shift in this. That I think whenever new technology come out, what we do is that we use the technology to do what we used to do faster. But that will only get us this far, right? That's kind of like broadcasting radio and the television, right? We can do a lot more, and I think that's where we're hitting, and that's fast, I hope.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your insights. We look forward to hearing more from you in Berlin.
That's a pleasure. Looking forward to see you again.